Hello, my name is Savannah, and I'm here to talk about my life, myself. Hopefully, you find it interesting. I've never posted a video like this on YouTube. I have a couple Instagram videos of my dog, mainly. My dog, who is over there. Ruby! Ruby! There's Ruby! Good girl. Okay. Maybe I'll get more views with my dog. So, I am technologically illiterate, as I was corrected earlier tonight by my technologically savvy spouse. So these videos, these vlogs, if you will, are going to be really simple, basic, just me kind of word vomiting out to the people, which is okay. It's okay. Oh man. I'm here to talk about my experiences. I think it's important to, like, I talk to my close friends and family members about my things that I'm going through and what I've been through and everything, but I think it's important for people to share their stories. I learned a lot about parenting by watching what my parents did, and then deciding I would never do those things. And I don't have kids yet, but I know every parent out there will say, "Oh, you say one thing, you think one thing when you're before you have kids, and you have a kid, then it's totally different." But in this regard, what I will be going over in the upcoming videos, upcoming vlogs, sorry, I keep glancing at my own face, will sort of cover what has happened to me, which it says it sounds bad. My story is mainly not one of physical abuse, but serious mental and emotional abuse. And I would like to share my experience with how words affect people and children specifically. I have, according to my mother, I have 7 siblings. 3 of them are blood that came out of my mom, and the other 4 are from my stepdad. And I can tell you, the older 2 siblings that I have that were not involved in this, I don't know what you call it, mixed family. I don't know what it's, there's like a term for it when you have 2 parents that already have kids come together. But they are entirely different than my younger siblings. And I can tell you right now, my 18-year-old younger stepbrother is expecting his first child. And he's no YouTube sensation or Zuckerberg or anything like that. He is a high school dropout who has difficulty finding employment and still relies on his abusive mother for a lot of things, including, I think, see, at this point I have to say that I don't keep up with my younger siblings, my younger step siblings anymore, because it's too much stress. It's too much stress to put on me. I shouldn't be responsible for my younger brother's mistakes like that. I saw it coming, I can say. Everything that happened with my younger step siblings, younger than him, I saw it all coming. I was not surprised. It was scary to get a phone call from my mom, who lived an hour away from me at that time, saying, you know, so-and-so and other one, or I'm not going to use names, that's not good, but they go down to the bus station in your local downtown area and see if they're going to arrive there, because they ran away and they were last seen at the bus station here where we live. And so my dad, whom I was living with at the time, I wasn't able to drive, I don't think, and so he drove me down there, and we looked, and they weren't there. They didn't get on a bus anywhere. But it's scary to know that your 10 and 12-year-old siblings are just out in the world because they ran away, because they were scared. And my parents are the kind of people who, oh, it's not my fault. They did bad. They did something wrong, and so they should be punished for it. And the fact that they decided to run away doesn't reflect on me as a parent at all. What I can say is, people sharing stories online, Reddit, or mostly Reddit for me. I love Ask Reddit. People sharing their stories online and finding common ground with other strangers, saying, you're not alone, this happened to me too, that's wrong, that's not normal, that's not good, you need to get out of there, you need to get away from these people, that kind of thing. It helped me to understand better what happened to me and my family. Abuse is a slow burn thing. Mental and emotional abuse is a slow burner. But it started pretty much from the beginning. In this initial video, I don't want to get too deep into any one thing because I need to organize myself, and this is just kind of just stream of consciousness, sort of getting things out there, So in this video, I'm just an introduction to myself, and where I'm at mentally right now, which is like this whole eyebrows and eyeliner and lip gloss and everything. I did that because I had a moment of clarity, a moment of self-confidence of I can just swipe this on really quickly and I'll look good and I'll go in front of the camera. And it worked. It happened. I don't have the crazy Nikki tutorials, fucking Kim Kardashian, style or skills or, products. I have drugstore makeup. I have what I can work with. And it works for me. You can't really see on this picture, but I have really nice freckles during the summertime. And I like to show off my frecks. Why would you want to cover up your frecks? In fact, I watched a video on Instagram like 10 minutes ago while I was on the can. And it was one of those, glamour makeup doing things. I love to watch that. It's cool. It's like watching someone paint a picture, but it's on a person's face. It's pretty cool. And this woman, her complexion was so beautiful and even toned throughout her whole face. And it was like an olive kind of skin tone. And she just had these stark, sparse freckles. Just a couple here, a couple there, a couple up here. Just beautiful, just pinpoints of a shade. And they covered it up. And I'm like, free the freckles. Anyway, a little bit more about myself. Oh gosh, I don't want to sound like a fucking MySpace page, but I guess here we go. Before I explain about myself, I feel like I don't have much of a personality. I mean, I do. I have friends and family. I'm married, that kind of thing. And if my husband was here, he would just go on and on about me. But the basic surface things, my interests, I guess, before I completely nosedived into heavy pot use and just scrolling through the internet day in and day out. Before I devolved into that, I was creative. I made comics during high school. some of which, if they had been seen by anybody else, would have gotten me at best suspended, at worst expelled and put into juvenile hall. Those ones will never see the light of day because I burned them. I was not happy with those, but I saved a lot of the other ones. What I didn't realize until very recently was that this comic, this little character that I had created, that was an avatar of myself at the time, same like hairstyle, glasses, and just wore black all the time. Really simple little just blurb. Not very good at art. I'm trying. I have it in there, just no refinement or anything like that, which is something I like to work on. What I didn't realize at the time was that creating these comics and the subsequent epic story that came along with this little character that just naturally developed over the, years, it was me trying to process depression and trying to express what was happening to me because I didn't have help. I was getting help very briefly in middle school, and then it just stopped because of my stepdad. So I love to draw. I'm okay at it. I have things that I've kept for years because I feel really proud of those pictures, because it was a freehand copy of something, or it was just a portrait of something I had in my head and I just kind of sketched it out, or little doodles. I'm great at doodles. I have a whole page of just doodles. Speaking of which, my stepdad just sent me something over Facebook, and I'm going to ignore it for the time being. Usually if I get any messages from my stepdad, I have my husband, look at it because I'm scared. I'm scared of him. I'll just say that. I'm scared of him. He lives 2 states away with my mom. I try not to get into the mantra of he took my mom away, So there's a little bit about me. Just got some issues, got some problems. Don't we all? That's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking about it. You see, 12 minutes in. This is great. This is like therapy, but so many more people are gonna see this. Or not. Probably not. I don't know. I don't even know how to upload things to YouTube at this point. This is an entire learning process. I'm good at this thing right now. I got this whole scope going on. I got my, voice detector here. But once I get to the uploading stage, I have no idea what to do. And we'll see what happens when we get there. Anyway, I became horribly depressed at age 10. And depression for me was a slow burn. It was more like a monumental shift in my life. Everything changed. Everything changed for me at a certain point. That's another video. I'm going to try to break up these chunks of my life into videos and sort of process them and, tell the world what happened to me and say, hey, you're not alone. Hey, other people go through this thing. Hey, these kinds of things aren't normal. So anyway, at 10, horrible depression, slow burned up into 7th grade. I purposely tanked all my classes, all my core classes, got grounded for low grades, for Fs. So I was stuck in my room with just radio and books. That's all I had for all of 7th grade was radio and books. I loved the local rock station that was there in our area. It doesn't exist anymore. It was changed to some weird pop country a long time ago. It pissed me off. Anyway, that was good. So I got really into cool rock music. My mom even shared some of the music that she liked, like Chevelle, with me, which I love that band for one thing. They're so good. I want to tell this story just because it's my first video, and it's such a magical story, and it was the beginning of a different era for me. An era that will literally last for the rest of my life because it is so important to me. So I'm on my radio. There was another radio station that I had found, and I liked it a lot because it played a huge variety of music, and it also didn't have any commercials except for one sponsor, which was Dex Paper, Dex Information, that kind of thing. It was a college, a technical college radio station that just didn't really have any hosts. There was, different shows on the weekends, but for the most part, all day long, all night long, they just played nonstop music. They didn't specify the bands or the song titles. They just played music. There was no way to know what was playing unless I already knew it. So one night the song comes on. Do, 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 do. I hope I did that right. I hope it sounds good. I'm not going to cut it. I don't know how. This beautiful piano. And, I don't have words to describe his voice. This voice started singing. And the piano music, more instruments, I'm sure if you've heard the song, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It crescendoed into this beautiful rock, opera, fucking just clashing, screaming, belting, wailing, just this amazing, fast-paced, and the message, the chorus of that song would carry on. That's what it is. We'll carry on. And it just resonated with me in a way that nothing ever had. This voice of a literal angel to me, like nothing I'd ever heard of. The closest thing that I can compare this to is, I'm forgetting his name, the singer from the Smashing Pumpkins, but I spent the rest of my, time eagerly listening to this radio station. Please play this song again. Please play this song again. And they played it every once in a while, and every time it came out, I was just enthralled. I had not started smoking weed at that point, but it was a high unlike anything I've ever felt. This man and his voice was the beginning of a certain obsession that I had. And I'm sure most angsty teens, I fucking hate that, had their own. I knew a girl in school who was obsessed with Fall Out Boy. She's now living her best life, meeting all of her favorite bands all the time. Super jelly of that. But I'm sure everyone had this. My younger sister had an obsession with the anime Naruto. And you know what? My Chemical Romance, Naruto, Fall Out Boy, fuck off. Don't make fun of people for what they love. You find art in any form. The artist has their meaning and their vision and their feeling that created this piece, whatever it is, a book series, a song, a movie. But, movies maybe not so much, but with songs and with, books and stories and everything, the consumer takes whatever they need out of it. They, like my husband's favorite Michael Jackson song, Man in the Mirror. He finds a very personal message in that. It's, it's a good song. It has a good message and everything. And, I don't find that personal message, but he does. And in my music, I find a personal message for myself. And at the time, the turmoil, the pain that I was in, I felt that this man was speaking directly to me. And that was in about December of 2000, I want to say 6. And about 5 months later, I was spending my birthday money at, Best Buy, because that was the only place I knew to go get CDs that weren't censored. I got a seat. My brother bought me a Korn Best Hits album, which the songs on it were amazing. That's one of my favorite albums. But he bought it at Walmart and it was censored. Y'all want a single? Say suck that. Suck that. I was horrified. Anyway, so shopping at Best Buy, coincidentally with the same brother. And I went there looking for a Korn CD. I went there looking for See You on the Other Side by Korn. I found it. I had more money. I was really debating. I was looking at all these different albums. And at that time, I had been pining for this random fucking rock song that I never knew the band, never knew the anything about this. And so I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking. And I see this little album, and it's got this really cute skeleton on the front, and he's in a marching band outfit. He's got the baton and a hat, and he's so cute. And I'm like, oh, I need this. I don't know what this is. I don't know where it came from or where it's supposed to be, but I need this in my life and in my soul and in my heart. My heart is in my belly. I love food. And I got home before I didn't even open the Korn CD at that point. I got home and I put it in and I started listening to it. And I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. This is amazing. This beautiful, just, it's a story. It's like, you can't even call it a story. It's just this tragic tale. It's a tragedy. I got to track 4 and thought my CD was skipping, and I got a little mad until he started singing, and I was just like, oh, that's part of the song. And now it's like such a good song anyway. And then track 5 rolled along. Track 5. And what plays but that beautiful piano beginning? And I'm like, no fucking way. It was literally coincidence, logically, objectively coincidence, but myself personally, I don't know. I don't know what drew me to that, but I found it, and I found meaning. I found something in my life that I could play. It was my what I call OG anxiety medicine, my OG depression medicine, because I wasn't on medication. I started a little bit. Let me tell you, when you're going through what I went through, fish oil does not fucking cut it. Get your kids medicine. Get your kids to a fucking psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist, counselor. The fish oil doesn't solve all the problems. And neither does pot. Let me just say that. I have a whole other story about that too. But anyway, so I listened to this magical album, front to back, side to side, up and down, backwards, inwards, outwards, just every moment I could. I dove head first into this obsession of mine, and I'd never felt so loved or welcomed or warm. And one thing I'll say for my stepdad is there was bad, but there was also good with everything. Nothing is completely black and white, except racism. And he got me a ticket to go see them when I was a junior in high school. There was this show coming up. My friends, I'd made a couple friends in high school that were more like me, because for a while in high school I didn't have friends that were like me at all. That I was the floater friend that kind of, I had an acquaintance here and there, but I never really had my own friends. But these two, they were cool. They were a couple, and they were like, hey, My Chemical Romance is playing in Seattle. You know, it was right before spring break. I remember because I spent all of spring break with a hoarse throat and with my neck so sore all the way down, just like, because I headbang and I'm good at it. I don't have enough hair to really show you right now, but anyway, so I begged. I was like, please, 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 if you do anything for me, any one thing, I don't want anything else in this whole world. I just want to see them live. I just want to see them play. And thank God it was in a small venue. It was in a really, just close-knit. There wasn't really room even for a mosh pit. It was just kind of this undulating crowd. And I remember doing the whole whoa, whoa thing. And that was kind of scary. The scariest part, though, like, oh my gosh. So I'm bigger than my friends were. I've been about the same size since I was like 15. So, and they were very small kids, very small teenagers. So I was like, okay, guys, I'll be the anchor. Hang on to me. Don't let me go. And my friend's dad was in the bar. He bought a ticket for himself too, so he could be in the venue with us, holding our jackets and purses and stuff. Because ya girl got a t-shirt. And it's one of my favorite t-shirts. It was in the Danger Days era, so it's got their 4 pictures, and it says Exterminated or something. It's really cool. I love that shirt. Anyway. So they were hanging on to me and we were just rocking out. It was so good and everything. And then I looked down in the crowd and I see this little girl. And she was probably like 12 or 13, very small. And she was just slowly sinking down into the legs. And I was like, oh shit. And I put my arm down and I pulled her out. And let me tell you, I've been to 3 concerts in my life. 4. I forgot I saw Alt J a couple years ago with my spouse. I know I switched between spouse and husband. Fuck you. And that was the best one, hands down. I don't think I could ever, unless I saw them again live, I don't think I could ever top that experience. I was there with good people who were genuine good people, and let me tell you, the My Chemical Romance fan base, generally as a whole, is very, like, they're different. They're a different band than everybody else. Like, to a layman, you know, it's just screamy rock music. And honestly, if you go through their catalog and listen to their first album, it's really raw and just like they had all this pent up energy and they just wanted to shove it out into the world. Very garage band-esque. Their second album was more put together, but it still had that raw sort of edge where you're just like, fuck yeah, and, you know, beautiful songs, and then just like songs, and then, you know, the Black Parade came along, and it was a production. It was just a show, and oh, I'm getting chills right now just even thinking about it. And there are a couple songs that still have that edge, and it's so good. And God, all the way down my legs, I'm just getting these chills. I think I'm freaking out my dog. And Danger Days, I have some qualms with that album. And I honestly have not listened to their last album, I guess, that they put out digitally. I've never heard it. Never wanted to. If I do that, it'll be the end. It'll be over. And I can't do it. Also, Danger Days makes me really sad. I can make another video about my obsession with My Chemical Romance, because that's a whole thing that was not healthy, not good. One of the red flags. Maybe I'll make a series called Red Flags That My Mom Missed about me. That was one of them. But this video is getting a little long. Like, I'm not going to edit this at all. I don't know how. But I would love to just put myself out there and, you know, I don't think I'm gonna get any views on this one, honestly. I just want to let people know that you can tell your story. You can be vulnerable and let other people know, hey, I'm out here. I know what you're going through. I've been through things like this, and, you know, I'm really excited to make more videos. Learn about how to maybe start editing. But as my first video, this is just one long 30-minute stream of consciousness, just an introduction to myself. Harry Potter, that'll be a whole video in and of itself. So as an outro, I will say, if you watched this video and you got all the way to the end, thank you. Leave a comment, good or bad, I don't care. You know, but if you watch this whole thing and, you know, you want to see more, it would be good to let me know. I'm not going to be, you know, I'm not some huge vlogger. I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to make a living off of this. Let me say that. I'm not trying to make a living off of this. That's just it. You know, if it ends up turning into something more because of, you know, other people wanting more, then that's fine. But right now, this is a cathartic thing for me to do, for me to put myself out there. And just thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me, and share your story with me, you know? I think there's PMs on YouTube. I don't know. Find me on Facebook. You know, I don't know. It's just me. It's just my life. Thank you.